We are back! Yo, yo, yo! What is going on? See, I almost forgot the intro there. What is going on, everybody? My name is Pandrea. Welcome back to my channel. New setting, new suit, new me. Now we have a lot to talk about in this video. Since the last time we saw each other, a lot has been going on. And if you keep up to date with me on Instagram, where I post daily over there, you might know some of the things that I've been working on and things that are coming up. Now in this video, what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to talk about new decks, new tutorials, and a very visual vanish of a single playing card that you can do right now with any deck of cards. Now stay tuned until the end of the video where I'm going to show you a sneak peek at what's to come, a secret project that we've been working on for a very long time. It's probably my favorite project to date, and we'll talk about what's going on with that, and we might even do a little giveaway soon, so stay tuned for that, and let's jump straight into the video. Now, first things first, we just released a new deck of cards, the Sky Island playing cards, and this is how they look. Sky Island Airways is the story that we built around this deck. This is how the tuck looks right here. The back design looks like this. Now guys, I am not a deck review channel. Don't really know how to review decks, but my friends do, so I'm gonna leave the link below to some of my friends who review decks. Now I figured instead of me trying to review a deck, and my deck reviews are always pretty boring to be honest, here is a clip from my friend Kier Gomes. He reviewed this deck of cards, but here's a short clip of the Sky Island playing cards with a little story that we put on top of it. In the 1960s, a luxury airline called Sky Island Airways offered an exclusive getaway unlike any other. Passengers were whisked away on private jets to a secluded tropical island known only as Sky Island. The airline served no other destinations. It was devoted purely to bringing customers to paradise. One day, it all vanished. The planes, the airline, and even the island itself. The only evidence that it had ever existed was a small supply of playing cards that were handed out to passengers during each flight. Very nice job, Kier. Thank you so much for reviewing the deck. Now, as you guys might know, it's very important for me to create a story and a feeling behind a deck of cards and the releases that we come out with on House of Playing Cards. Now, whether it's knocks, where knocks are very simple, right? But if you add a flavor to it and if you add a story behind it, then it becomes more than just a deck of cards. Same thing with your Magic. If you add stories and feelings and through your pattern, you create emotion, right? When holding a deck of cards or when seeing a card trick or when just any product in general, you will have a much better success rate with what you are trying to put out into this world. All right, so get your deck of cards ready and let's get into this tutorial. Now, I'm very proud of this new brand, Svengali. You can check it out at svengali.com for these decks. I work with my friend Ito Hong on this. We've been working together for a long time. I've created 4 decks, 4 releases of the Svengali line, and I just want to show you them really quickly, just in case you guys have missed it. The first one, 01, is the Forbidden playing cards, and they look like this. The cards are very, I'll be honest, Gucci-esque, but we were going for that sort of fashion flavor to it. You can see everything is pretty much customized for people that like custom faces. We got reveals in there. We got cool designs on the cards themselves. The second edition, 02, is the up your sleeve new trick deck of cards. These are a very New York style deck of cards. At least that's what comes to mind. Face cards are orange instead of red. Again, cool designs on the back of them. Jokers are pretty nice here. I love the Joker on this one. And the Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades is one of the coolest Ace of Spades that I've seen. Moving on to number 3, this is Off the Wall. Off the Wall is number 3, and we were inspired by modern art. We saw an exhibit actually in Singapore when Ito and I were together, and that inspired us to create this third deck of cards. And of course, the faces are all really nice and designed over here. jokers, and the ace all the time. Ito does such a great job on the ace of spades. So that is the third one right there off the wall. And of course, the Sky Island playing cards. That's what we will use for this tutorial. So let's get into it. If you want these cards, Svengali, spelled like this, .com, and you should be good to go. All right, the rub-a-dub vanish. You take a card just like this and you place it on the table, your hand on top of it, and then you make it disappear just like that. You could do it in a few different ways. You could do it on the table. You could do it on your lap. You could do it underneath an item, the box, or a napkin or something like that. But the basic idea is to make it look like you're placing the card underneath your hand. It's almost like a false transfer if you think about it, by false transferring the card from here to here, from here to here, and you create that sort of optical illusion, that retention vanish of the card being placed underneath something, underneath your hand in this case, and making it vanish. Now, there's a lot that you can use it for, which we're going to go over at the end, but for now, let's just talk about the vanish itself. So go ahead, grab one card, and you're going to hold the deck in a dealer's position, a mechanic's grip, and now you're going to place it out like this. So almost as if you're pushing off the card to deal it down, right? So you're pushing off the card to deal it down, and you're going to stop about halfway. And now you're going to pull it back. See, this is all we're doing. Okay, it's very, very simple. You're pushing it forward, you're pulling it back. You're pushing it forward, you're pulling it back. You're pushing it forward. Everybody with me. All right, so you're pushing it forward, you're pulling it back. That's the idea of this vanish. And all you're going to do is now the motion of the right hand and the left hand coming together to create the illusion. And in slow motion, this is what's happening. You're placing your hand down here. You're pulling it back on the top of the deck. This hand moves away as your right hand mimics sort of, I don't know what this is supposed to mimic, to be honest. Rubbing it into the table, into the mat. Now it gives a sort of a sensual feeling when you do this, which can add to your magic. I don't know, whatever turns you on. So again, grab the card, place it here, and now what you're going to practice is pulling it back. All right, so that's the first thing that I want you to go over. Push it forward, pull it back. Now the right hand is going to come over the card just like this. Now, very important, when I see this done, I see there's one tip that will make it look good, and if you don't do this, I think it'll look bad. And the tip is to overextend, so when your hand comes in, your thumb overextends a little bit so that the card sticks out on the right side of your right hand. If that doesn't happen, then you're just covering the card like this, and it's not going to look as good. Okay, so you're overextending, and make sure when you come in with this hand, or as you're placing it here, you see that corner right here? It's overextending, and it's creating a visual that will help in the retention. All right, now here is the motion of the hands together. The right hand comes on top, the right hand's going to go down, and for the right hand to go down, your left hand has to come back and swing in a clockwise motion, rotating this way. And as you rotate this way, you are pulling back with the left thumb and doing this. All right, and that's going to create the illusion of the card vanishing by pulling it back. And that's really all you're doing. So if we break this up in steps, you'll see that it's very, very easy. You're here, you're placing this down, and now watch the two hands. This is coming down, and this is getting pulled back and out. So these hands come together and then apart. As the right hand comes down, this hand the left hand comes away to the left side clockwise, if we're thinking about it as a clock, and pull it into the same position it started with. So it started here, I'm pushing it forward, I'm not letting go of this position, because if you let go of this position, then it might be harder to push it, to pull it back flush with the card, you see? But if I hold it in this position and I push forward and now I pull back, it's much easier to get it flush. So I push forward, I come here with the right hand, I come here, and then I push down as my left hand comes back this way. Give it a little bit of an angle if needed, not too much. Now my suggestion before you actually do the vanish is to actually place the card on the table and keep it there with your hand, so that they sort of get a illusion that the card is there. And when they think about it, at least they have this picture to reference to in their mind when the card vanishes. you know, they say to themselves, but I saw it under their hand, you know. So you can do this, you can come out here, do this, and then come back here and then do the actual vanish like that, okay? So the actual vanish, after you've done it, you want to, if you do this in the beginning, this is a very nice way, and it's used for a few routines, but you can say, look, I'm going to put pressure, and it's going to look like it sticks to my hand, doesn't it, right? It does stick to my hand, and then you let go. Then you come up here, bring it back, dust off. I like to do this as a little misdirection point, just to get this back onto the deck right here. Then come back here, do the vanish, push down and repeat the same action. Boom, it comes up, it comes down, and now I rub again, and then I slowly open my hands, and then I do this brush vanish again to create that illusion, okay? You don't want to do this, and then it's gone, all right? You want to take your time with it, make it seem magical, make it seem like if you were actually vanishing an item, how would it look? So you're here, do it for real the first time, get it to stick, show it, wipe away, watch. You could place the deck down here at this point, come up with it, come down, and then it's vanished, okay? It's gone, and then it appears somewhere else, or there's a next phase to it or something, yep. Now to kick it up a notch, we can do it as a angle jogged card as well, and this looks really nice as well. I'm not the best at doing this. There are people that do it so well, and you could swear that that card is underneath the hand when they do the vanish. It's really, really good. The way to do this is instead of just pushing out here, you're going to angle it and pivot it on the first finger. So you're pivoting it on the first finger like that. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but now when I pull back, it's just going to rotate back into the hand and then pull back. So rotate back and then pull back so it's flush, all right? And I guess the most important part of this vanish is that you don't want the thumb to be seen moving too much, all right? So you're here, and just angle it so that you don't see this, all right? The pull back and push, the pulling and pushing of the thumb, all right? So here, you can do it once, boom, and then get rid of the deck, boom, okay? All right, let's bring the box into the equation. Now, you can use this with an item, right? So with the box, or with a napkin, or with some sort of any cover, really, that you can cover this card with, you can do with it, right? So you can actually come out here, do this, and make pretend to put the box on top of the card by doing this and saying, here's the card, here's the box, and do that. Now, here's a little tip. When I was little, I learned this probably when I was like 15 years old, and I cut a piece of the card out and I put it on here, right, on the box, and then I taped it in such a way so that it flaps up and then flaps down, so that when I did the move, right, and I did this, this would be sticking out. So I'd have it sticking out, I'd come out here, I'd place it down, and they could still see a corner of the card being exposed right there, all right? And then when you pick it up, it flaps back in because of there's tape on it, right? It flaps back in, and then you can actually cover it, show this, that the card has vanished, and it appears somewhere else, okay? So just a little tip to keep in mind. But you can use this. You can use, in this case, let's see if this works with a mask, because this is the world that we live in. Boom, and then boom, it disappears. So all we're doing is the exact same thing. I'm just placing it underneath. Just like that, you know, you could do that, or obviously with a napkin, a tablecloth, table napkin would be my first choice, but since I had the mask handy. So that's it, be creative, take your time with the vanish, don't rush it, and I think you can make it look really, really magical if you get it just right. Take your time and make the card vanish. All right, let's get a discussion going. So question of the day, and I'd like you to leave your comments below. is after you do this Vanish, what would you use it for? All right, so come up with a routine or card to impossible location. Leave your comments below, and then other people can see those comments. People can read that, bounce their ideas back and forth, add to it, and I think that'll be very cool as a community to go back and forth on ideas. Now, one of the things I use this Vanish for, and I'll give you a verbal explanation of it, and it's up to you to create the visual in your mind and try to replicate it by what I'm saying to you, is I make the card vanish right on top of the box. So I put the box on the table and I make it vanish on top of the box, and then it's gone, and then it appears inside of the box. So how do you accomplish that? Well, there's a few ways, right? You could palm off the card after the card is vanished, then go ahead, palm off the card again, and then slip it on top of I said I wasn't going to visualize it for you. No cheating. You can palm off the card and somehow make it look like it's inside of the deck. Or you can have a duplicate in the deck. Or think about another way that you can do it to make the card disappear and appear in the deck, or disappear and appear in your pocket, or that kind of stuff. There are a lot more videos to come, so the most important thing for you guys to do is hit the notification bell, because we have giveaways, we have contests, we have a lot of stuff going on in the next few weeks leading up to different events that you're not going to want to miss. Hit the like button, of course, because you like this video, right? You learned something. You like me a little bit. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you very shortly on the next video. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your Sunday. Peace. All right, is everybody gone? Good. I said I was going to show you a sneak peek of what's to come. Now, last year we released my favorite deck, the most successful deck, and the most popular deck that we've had. Now, here are the two decks that were released, the Nock 3000 X1s. I think one of the coolest stories to be put to a deck of cards. We filmed a very cool video, and we are doing that again for the next version of the deck, and I will just show you the face cards of them. I won't give you everything away just yet, but stay tuned to this channel and to my Instagram so that you won't miss a thing for the release of the Nock 3000 X2 deck of cards. Thank you so much, guys.